Hi, beautiful souls. It's Sadhana, and I'm going to carry on with 31 Days of Tarot. And this video is going to cover questions. Let me see, looking at the list here, questions number 10 and number 11. So this first question is about decks that I want to work more with this year, tarot decks, and then the next question is about oracle decks that I want to work more with this year. So let's get started. First of all, let me say I am a big fan of Outlander, and I have watched the series multiple times, and just fascinated with Claire, with the life of a healer from old, and the plants, the mythology, the stories, the lifestyle, and all of that. I think that is one of my motivations. I've also really been interested in working as a green witch, white witch for a long time. And so I really would like to spend more time this year getting to know my more Celtic and earth-based decks. So this is a deck that is familiar to just about everybody, the Druidcraft Tarot. And there are so many aspects of this deck that I'd really like to understand more clearly, to do some more research, and to understand more of the stories of the characters, where they've come from, the differences between different time periods and different parts of the country. So the stories, the lifestyle was slightly different depending on what part of the UK or France or different areas where this culture is based. So this is really about expanding my knowledge, and yeah, and there's also, of course, I guess the attraction too is I do have some ancestry also through this lineage, and I would like to know more about it. And then the connection with the Norse mythology, any of the Viking history. I would like to read more and spend more time. So that is the Druidcraft Tarot, which I have trimmed and edged in this brown color. And then very much along, the same line, the same kind of energy, the Green Witch. So not same, slightly different, but I want to spend more time with the Green Witch Tarot. And this is definitely a time period closer to this time. But there's many traditions that I am not familiar with. And I'm going to reread the guidebook and also the book that I shared yesterday. So the introduction and some of the background information in that book, Tarot of the Green Witch, I'm going to spend some time with that as well too. I'm really interested in Dutch roof cottages, and the only kind of background I have was from my time in Japan and what I learned there. So yeah. So Green Witch Tarot, and then the Wheel of the Year Tarot, which will also help bring in understanding more of the pagan holidays and the Wheel of the Year. Let's just move these out of the way. This deck I did trim, and I did not write on it. And I found that I don't need to write on it because it's quite clear what suit it is. Yeah. And again, this is definitely, nothing like Druidcraft Tarot, but there are lots of characters that I need to spend some time to get to know. Yeah. So as I mentioned in the previous video, that I'm going to spend time this year getting to know the Marseille system, and then also having a look at this these cultures and helping it to expand, you know, my repertoire, my knowledge of the tarot, and also my interest in plants and plant medicine. So it makes perfect sense that the oracle decks, which is the next question, that I would like to spend more time with are plant-based oracle decks. And I see they're all the way across the room over there. So I'm just going to go and get them. I mentioned in my top 5 oracle decks already the Hedgewitch Botanical Oracle, which is Siolo Thompson's new plant-based oracle. So this is one that I'm going to start with to study. I found that the guidebook here is, I relate to it very well, and I think it's going to be, there's recipes in the back, and I'm going to start here. The Druid craft, of course, has its corresponding plant-based deck, the Druid Plant Oracle. And the guidebook for this deck is also a wealth of information. The studying, the research, what I have already learned is that there is different information across the decks and in the reference books. So I will have to spend some time kind of understanding whether the information is based on periods that the plants were used, so the kind of the history of plant medicine and how that evolved. There's also quite a few different plant names besides the Latin name, besides the Celtic name for the plant, the English name. There are various nicknames and common names depending on where you live and where the plant came from and the time period that the medicine came from. So this is quite a different look from Hedgewitch. So Hedgewitch is very, very white. I'll show that to you again. So this is the Druid craft plant, and this is trimmed as well, which apparently I shouldn't have done because I have cut off the oghams that were around the border. I did, so that was more of an aesthetic reason that I trimmed it, and I was not aware at the time that there is energy in the oghams that are around the border. So that is done, and if I decide to buy another deck, well, that probably won't be happening anytime soon. But so this is the Hedgewitch. So quite a different look from the Druid plant. But these are definitely decks, oracle decks, that I want to be working with. Because I was interested in this, I did invest in both of Leila and Olive's, the Pythia Botanical and the Maiden Oracle, more from a comparative point of view. I don't think I really needed 4 botanical decks, but I love the tea stains. I love the simplicity here. There is a small guidebook. I'll just show you. So just a little bit of information on each plant. So I purchased these decks more as a crossover comparison. So I plan to match up the plants that are common in these 4 decks, and then maybe divide them up by region. So plants that are common to North America, ones that I'm more familiar with, and get to know those, because the motivation is, of course, to expand my knowledge of plant medicine. This one is the Pythia Botanica, and so that has a gray back, And then the Maiden Oracle, which I believe is the newer of the two. So it comes in a black box. And this one looks like a tarot deck because the first 22 cards are the names of tarot cards. So it starts with the Fool. And it goes, these ones have a matte gilding, gold matte edging on the sides. This is a really beautiful deck. Yeah, so the first 22 cards are the same name as the majors. So here's 11 strength. And then it goes on from there. So it carries on with, so 22, puckered glass, lemon tree, puckered glass. So there are keywords. And let's just double check. Yeah, I'm pretty sure all these decks have the plant name, and yes, they all have a plant name and a keyword. So that's common to all of these decks. And this one has a lot of cards in it. I think this one has more cards than any of the others. Right? Really, really intriguing. And you know, it's like going back to school. So I'm going to spend quite a bit of time learning about plants and their medicine and how I can incorporate these cards into readings and what kind of readings they're going to fit better into. I have a feeling that they're going to work really well. I might have to do a quick reading with a Reiki client before they sit down on the table or even afterwards. That may be one place that I use them, but more for my own knowledge and experience. So yeah, thank you for being here today. That was a quick one, but I want to get caught up with Anthony's challenge and really enjoying exploring these questions because it's helping me to kind of plan out my tarot year and all of the things that I want to do. Thanks. Namaste. Stay well.